In the 12th century BC, the Mediterranean was shaken to its core by a force shrouded in mystery, the Sea Peoples. These enigmatic raiders swept across coastlines, toppling mighty empires and reducing once thriving cities to mere ruins. But who were they? Some historians argue they were desperate refugees fleeing famine and conflict, while others believe they were a coalition of fierce warrior tribes, united by a thirst for conquest. Their origins remain elusive, but their impact was undeniable. The collapse of the Hittite Empire and the turmoil in Egypt can be traced back to their relentless assaults. As we sift through ancient texts and archaeological evidence, we find ourselves drawn into a captivating puzzle, one that challenges our understanding of this tumultuous era. What drove them to such destruction? The answers may lie buried beneath the sands of time, waiting to be uncovered. The Sea Peoples, a name that evokes intrigue and dread in the study of ancient history. Picture this: a coalition of fierce naval raiders striking fear into the heart of the eastern Mediterranean around 1200 BC. These marauders, whose origins are still a mystery, unleashed chaos upon powerful empires, contributing to their dramatic collapse. Were they desperate refugees fleeing turmoil or ambitious conquerors seeking new lands? Their attacks on coastal cities disrupted trade routes and shattered civilizations, leaving behind a legacy of uncertainty. The Sea Peoples remind us that history is often written by the victors, while the true story of these enigmatic raiders remains lost to time. Our understanding of the Sea Peoples is largely shaped by the records of the Egyptian pharaohs, who bravely defended their territories against these mysterious invaders. But these ancient texts are a puzzle, fragmented, biased, and often steeped in propaganda. To truly grasp the reality of the Sea Peoples, we must delve deeper. Archaeology offers us artifacts that hint at their existence, while linguistics helps us decode their language and culture. By weaving together these threads of evidence, we create a rich tapestry that reveals not just the Sea Peoples as invaders, but as a complex part of the ancient world's narrative. It's a journey through time, piecing together a story that has long been shrouded in mystery. The 12th century BC was a chaotic time in the Mediterranean. The great empires, the Hittites, Mycenaeans, and Egyptians, were crumbling under the weight of their own ambitions. Internal conflicts raged, natural disasters struck without warning, and economies faltered. Amidst this turmoil, a new threat emerged: the Sea Peoples. These fierce warriors swept across the seas, leaving destruction in their wake. Towns were razed, trade routes disrupted, and fear gripped the hearts of those who once felt secure. The balance of power shifted dramatically as the very foundations of civilization trembled before this relentless tide of chaos. The Bronze Age collapse was a cataclysmic turning point, where once mighty civilizations crumbled into chaos. Imagine the Hittite Empire, its grand cities reduced to ash, while the Mycenaeans faced a relentless tide of destruction. The Canaanite cities, once bustling hubs of trade, fell silent as panic spread. But who were these Sea Peoples? Were they ruthless invaders or opportunists seizing a moment of vulnerability? As famine, climate change, and internal strife weakened these societies, the stage was set for chaos. The collapse wasn't just a single event. It was a perfect storm of calamities, leaving us to ponder. Was it the Sea Peoples who struck the final blow, or were they simply the harbingers of a disaster already in motion? Ramses III, often considered the last great pharaoh of Egypt's new kingdom, faced a formidable challenge during his reign. In the 8th year of his rule, around 1177 BC, the Sea Peoples launched a massive invasion, attacking both by land and sea. Ramses III's account of this battle, known as the Battle of the Delta, is inscribed on the walls of his mortuary temple at Medinet Habu. According to the inscriptions, the Sea Peoples approached Egypt from the north, sailing down the Nile Delta and attempting to invade the land. But Ramses III was prepared. He fortified the delta's defenses, deployed his navy to intercept the enemy fleet, and personally led his troops into battle. The ensuing clash was fierce and bloody, but in the end, the Egyptians emerged victorious, driving the Sea Peoples back into the sea. The reliefs at Medinet Habu provide a vivid depiction of the Sea Peoples, tall, bearded warriors with feathered helmets, wielding swords and spears. But despite their defeat, the Sea Peoples did not disappear. They continued to raid and pillage throughout the Mediterranean. Their impact felt far and wide. Who were the Sea Peoples, and where did they come from? This question has puzzled historians and archaeologists for centuries, leading to a variety of theories and speculations. Some scholars believe that the Sea Peoples were displaced refugees, forced to flee their homelands due to natural disasters such as droughts, earthquakes, or volcanic eruptions. Others suggest that they were mercenaries or pirates, seeking wealth and plunder in a time of economic hardship. There are even theories that the Sea Peoples were a coalition of different tribes, united by a common cause or leader. The Medinet Habu reliefs depict several different groups within the Sea Peoples, each with their own unique appearance and weaponry. These groups include the Peleset, who are often associated with the Philistines, the Shurden, who may have originated from Sardinia, the Shikalesh, possibly from Sicily, and the Denyen, who some believe were connected to the Danans of Greek mythology. Archaeological evidence supports the idea that the Sea Peoples were a diverse and mobile group, with origins spanning the Mediterranean. Excavations in regions such as Sardinia, Sicily, and the Levant have uncovered artifacts and settlements that suggest a connection to the Sea Peoples. But despite these findings, definitive proof of their identity remains elusive. The Sea Peoples left a lasting legacy on the ancient world. Their raids and invasions contributed to the collapse of several major civilizations, leading to what some historians call the Dark Age of the Mediterranean. But while their actions brought destruction, they also paved the way for new cultures and societies to emerge. In the wake of the Sea Peoples' invasions, new powers rose to prominence. The Phoenicians, renowned for their seafaring skills and trade networks, established a thriving civilization along the coast of modern-day Lebanon. The Israelites, who may have been among the displaced peoples of the time, settled in the land of Canaan, laying the foundations for the kingdom of Israel. The Philistines, who are often identified with the Peleset mentioned in Egyptian texts, established themselves in the southern Levant, where they became a dominant force in the region. Their interactions with the Israelites are famously recorded in the Bible, most notably in the story of David and Goliath. Today, archaeologists continue to uncover evidence of the Sea Peoples' presence in the Mediterranean. From the ruins of ancient cities to the remnants of shipwrecks, these discoveries offer tantalizing glimpses into the lives of these enigmatic warriors. But despite all that we have learned, the full story of the Sea Peoples remains an enigma, a puzzle that may never be completely solved. The Sea Peoples were a force of nature, sweeping across the Mediterranean in a wave of destruction that reshaped the ancient world. They were warriors, raiders, and perhaps even refugees, individuals driven by a combination of ambition, desperation, and survival. While we may never know their true origins or the full extent of their impact, the legacy of the Sea Peoples lives on in the ruins they left behind and the stories that have been passed down through the ages. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the past. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more fascinating explorations of history, science, and the wonders of our world. Until next time, keep exploring and stay curious.